Dude, you're like our
You're 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 speaking like I'm the most bearish person on crypto. Like, I mean,
no,
I was temporarily, but
but dude, you were right.
I guess so.
You
I just got one thing right. It's
Yeah, but you got
it is
one
what
thing
it
like really. You know what's crazy is we also good to see you again. By the way, welcome back.
is. Yeah, yeah. Good seeing you.
We got dinner like I don't know, a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, like,
A month ago, yeah.
and Bitcoin was over 100K. I'm pretty positive Bitcoin was over 100K. And you and Malcolm got dinner. It was really fun. And you were really bear. Because I remember I was on stream with Trader Man the next day. And I was like, dude, fucking Taiki, like he's a gay bear. Da da da.
Disrespectful.
Dude, yeah, like
Yeah.
fuck him, like he sucks. And then like basically right after that, boom, and it played out like pretty 1-to-1. So I mean, I gotta give you some flowers for it. I guess to start before we get too deep, most people here are probably familiar with you. Maybe they've known you for all of the arcs, Farmer Arc. Maybe they only know you for Farcoin, and maybe they only know you as the millennial Michael Berry. Do you want to give us like a quick intro on who you are, what you do, and then we can get into some fun stuff.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think 12 months ago, I was on your stream talking about why Farcoin was going to flip GOAT. And now we're talking about me like shorting ETH and stuff. So how far we've come. But yeah, I used to play poker. 2020, I pivoted to crypto, started making YouTube videos, taught people how to yield farm. So people call me, Farmer Taiki. Ever since then, right, I'm just like farming, airdrop farming, yield farming, trading, investing, just an active market participant, active user of on-chain, and I try my best navigating markets.
And one of the few quality crypto, I don't want to use the word content creators, but I say it in a nice way, that are still locked in on it, which is awesome.
I try. The past week I've been kind of touching grass, but I'm back in the trenches. I bought some coins today, right, to dispel the bear narrative.
Really?
I don't think the bottom is in, but yeah, just to play the bounce.
Okay, so this is what I want to do is like we could spend a decent amount of time talking about the market, and then I honestly want to talk about some old stuff, comparing where we are to where we've been. Da, 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 da. But I mean, I guess to start, I mean, there's a lot of people that were publicly bearish. Some of them flipped on that like fake scam all-time high, like Ansem. I think Trader Made as well was like relatively bearish, and they all kind of got scam bullish flipped. There wasn't that many people that were publicly bearish, took the positions, posted them, stuck to their guns, and then actually let it play out. And you posted many shorts, but I think your ETH short was north of $500,000. Like, how much did you make on the ETH short?
Like half a mil probably. And then I made some more on altcoin shorts, but most of the sizing was on ETH. Yeah,
Whoa.
shorting ETH.
And where, like, okay, how did you build conviction to take that position? Because you were like, there was no reply guy, there was no quote tweet that was going to change your mind on like how you stood there.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously I think everyone used to be a believer in ETH. Maybe some people still are, but I kind of use this analogy in my last video where ETH is kind of like the hot stove, right? It's like if you touch a hot stove and you burn your hand, you kind of like stop touching the hot stove. But with ETH, people just keep touching the hot stove because they feel obligated to own ETH for whatever reason. But after I got burned on ETH like 5 times in the past 5 years, I kind of saw ETH for what it is. It's really good technology, but the token itself is not that great as an investment. So once Tom Lee started like pumping billions into ETH, I kind of viewed the DATs as a vehicle to pump tokens above fair value. So once they stop buying, then everything is going to just retrace, which I think is what's happening with Bitcoin, right? Michael Saylor, he's mostly tapped out. Money bought the top of Sol. Tom Lee, his average is like 4K for ETH. So I think, yeah, like, and also the on-chain metrics were looking really terrible. So yeah, I think the October 10th crash really put it over the edge. People thought that it was like a bullish liquidation event, but I thought it was fairly clear that once altcoins start puking, then there's no reason to deploy capital on chain. So you should expect DeFi TV all the top. You should expect stablecoin supply to stop growing, and kind of just like forecasting what's going to happen to fundamentals before they turn. So slam the short. And if I'm wrong on shorting ETH, then I won't lose that much money anyways. So it's kind of like an asymmetric opportunity.
Because it doesn't go up ever.
It doesn't go up. Yeah.
Were you bearish before 1010?
Yeah, I wasn't short ETH before 1010. I was short alts around. I started shorting alts around late September, I think. Like my mental model was like, as soon as ETH breaks new highs, I need to start raising cash. And the ETH hit like 4,900 in like August. So ever since that point, I've just been kind of, trying to slowly scale out of the markets because it's really hard to predict the top, right? So you kind of just have to sell when no one else wants to sell, which is like really hard. But after round tripping like 4 times in my life, I figured this time is not going to be the 5th time. I need to learn from my past mistakes.
It feels like you made this comment in the first response that like ETH is good tech, bad token, or good business, good tech, bad token. It feels like crypto is littered with good product, good technology, maybe even good business, like terrible token. The one that I always think about is Jupiter, and like why Jupe is like so cursed. I use it all the time. It's worked. It's perfect. It's awesome. I love it. Like is this like a fundamental crypto problem? Like why do we have so much tech is great, but the token is just like utter dog shit?
What's that? Most projects don't make any money, right? And they launch at billions of valuation. I mean, it's really hard in real life to create a successful company, let alone like $1 billion company. But in crypto, we like churn these out like every other week. It's like pre-product TGEs like at 3 billion FTV, right? So I just think that the token model is kind of broken, and maybe people forecast that all the fees on chain are going to trend to zero. So what moats do these products even have? What moats do L1s even have? What margins can you even expect like 5 years into the future? For example, like, I mean, DYDX used to be like the king of perp dexes a few years ago, and now they're like literally zero, right? So it's really hard to, I guess, invest in crypto just because there can be new players that just like flip it, which is like really a terrible time to like try to build conviction unless you're buying Bitcoin or something,
Do you believe that like basically all DeFi fees just basically go to zero on a long enough time frame?
I think that's kind of what happened to TradFi, right? Robinhood has 0 fees, but I guess they monetize it with like payment for order flow. And that's the direction Lighter is going to go to. And I'm sure Hyperliquid is going to have to lower their fees at some point, otherwise they'll lose market share. So I think most of the value is in the front end. But I mean, I'm not trying to forecast anything, right? I'm just mostly sidelined and just letting things play out and just not taking on that much risk.
By the way, I didn't realize how high Hyperliquid fees were. I was looking at how much I've paid. I'm like, oh my God. You don't even see it. Like, I didn't even realize how high they were.
Yeah, most people are price insensitive, right? Because if you're trying to market buy Zcash or something, it's like, who cares if you're paying 10 bips or whatever. But, at some point, the rake is really high. Because I have a poker background, and you understand that, the casino always wins. So you typically want to click less on chain just because you just leak so much value. So yeah, it's really high. Fees are high across the board. Liquidity is like terrible too. So you have to be really selective, especially nowadays when
Especially, I mean,
just
it's
turbo cucked.
It's wait for God spots. And even the God spots, as
Yeah.
we've seen, like, Zcash should retrace 50, 60%. There's one way to look at your take, which is that, like, okay, it's really hard, twofold. It's really hard to build a $1 billion business, like, in the real world. There's not that many of them, and usually the ones that are worth $1 billion are Uber's, changed the world, are Uber successful, have built something crazy. And then the other side of the equation is that's really hard to invest in crypto because you could be, OpenSea and be worth $10 billion, and then tomorrow Blur launches, arbs your fees to zero, your whole mode is gone, and then nobody cares about you. You're worth 100th of what you were. Is there any side, like, is there a way to look at this and be like, okay, the fact that there's capital still and excitement in crypto that will pump vaporware to billions of dollars, like, fundamentally means that people believe and are hungry for what's being built here, and that when there is good technology, the Hyperliquids, the pump funds of the world, like, we have the capital to support it. Like, is there a glass half full side of that take?
I mean, yeah, of course, like good tokens will go up, bad tokens go down, right? The problem with crypto is that most tokens are bad and they launch really high, so you just can't touch them. But I mean, Hyperliquid, it launched at like a $3 billion val, and then it's still like 30 or something, right? So it's a huge success. But I think I was listening to your stream before I got on, and things it's gonna be hard. Like you can't just expect to follow random Twitter influencers and buy coins and expect to make money. Like I worked really hard, like on my ETH thesis. I generally work really hard when it comes to like allocating capital. So you just have to work for it, especially now, like all the speculative, like dumb capital just got wrecked, right? So
Destroyed.
if you're trading right now, like you're just trying to compete against people like me, veterans. It's just really hard. So I'm just choosing not to participate by like taking on that much. Like I'm not being compensated with enough upside to take on a lot of risk right now in markets. I think dollar cost averaging Bitcoin stuff like that's fine, but generally, who knows what the next pump is going to be, right? It can just be like some new meta that pops out of nowhere. So you don't want to be holding like that stuff from yesteryear.
Yeah, like I think an optimistic way to look at the altcoin market is that good tokens can and will go really high. Now, most of them suck, but we do exist in a market where good tokens can go really high. Like even, I don't know, the MetaDAOs of the world still at $200 million right now. Good tokens will go really high. And I think that that's something to latch onto. When you made your thesis, like, okay, you said you worked really hard to enter a trade like ETH. And I think that like the process sometimes gets lost between the lines when people talk about, oh, I'm long, oh, I'm short. You don't really know how they got here. I think at the very beginning, you said something along the lines of like all on-chain metrics and things like this were just like looking really poor. Like what exactly are you looking at to sort of determine like health of the on-chain market?
Yeah, I think because like when I say health of on-chain market, I don't mean like meme coins, right? Like, oh, meme
Yeah.
coins aren't pumping, therefore on-chain is dead. I like I'm a farmer first, as evidenced by my farmer hat, and I talk to a lot of farmers, and I think generally farmers have a good pulse on the chain. Sometimes there's stuff worth farming, sometimes there's not, and if experienced farmers aren't deploying capital on chain, then the risk-adjusted return of deploying in DeFi apps are just terrible. So I think I don't know why this is, but I think generally in like bear markets, there's more exploits and rugs. I don't know if it's like an inside job or I don't know what it is, but at some point you just have to start withdrawing capital from on chain, and that typically coincides with that's kind of like a leading indicator that yeah things are about to turn, and you have to expect TVL to go down, across DeFi, and that's kind of what we're seeing. And I think generally when TVL goes down, people start selling, and then it's kind of like this negative reflexivity. And generally, people have conviction until their coins go down like 30, 40%, and then they start selling. So it's also trying to identify who's the marginal buyer, who's the marginal seller. The main marginal buyer for majors was the DATs. Now that they're mostly tapped out, like who's the marginal buyers? I can't really identify that. Who's the marginal seller? It's a lot of these people that just hold like overvalued stuff. So yeah, when trading, I think about who's the marginal buyer, who's the marginal seller, and then that kind of becomes more. But that's like a good framework, I think, to approach markets going forward.
That was the dumbest thing we've ever done in crypto, I think. We've done some dumb stuff.
Yeah, it's terrible. Because I mean, Bitcoin and ETH are great, like decentralized assets, but now the VCs got angry that we like people bundled meme coins, so now they're like bundling DATs. I don't think it's like that bad, but I mean, it depends how you look at it. Like if you've been holding ETH for like 5 years, it gave you like tremendous exit liquidity. But if you're trying to like invest for like 10 years, then yeah, it kind of creates this Christmas tree pattern, which is like terrible for sentiment.
Well, the thing about it too is like it didn't even really. You got the ETH scam like that. I don't know. I don't know how high ETH would have gone without Tom Lee's existence, but probably not that high. But it gone up a little
I feel
bit.
like this price.
Yeah, right.
Tom Lee,
Like
Bitmine
3K
got
kind of
announced
thing.
when ETH was 2,500.
Yeah.
Then it pumped 2x like 4.9. So I think ETH would probably be here, around here, if it weren't for Tom Lee.
The thing about it is it didn't do anything. Like it had the biggest effect on feels like ETH, like the most like direct, oh my god, effect on ETH. Sailor does what Sailor does, but everywhere else, like what they did with Solana at 235 or
Well,
whatever, and
Solana did pump. It did pump.
from
It was
200
like
to
150 to
235.
250, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair. But it was just like the most uneventful. What the fuck are we doing? Kind of meta. I don't even want to call it a meta, if you will. That's I feel like I've ever experienced in crypto. Like so underwhelming and just like what are we doing?
Yeah, the altcoin DATs are kind of gross because there's a lot of insider trading there. Um,
Like story
yeah, I don't know.
protocol, DAT. It's like brother, like what's going on here?
Yeah, and I think there's also elements of just I mean, you do this almost every day, right? So you have like a good pulse on like the vibes. I feel
Yeah.
like the vibes have been terrible for like 3 to 6 months. Like the only reason coins were going up is because Tom Lee or like Samani's buying. Like that's not really something that excites me, you know. I'm still like an optimist when it comes to crypto, like blockchain tech. But I think everyone just wanted to just sell at some point, right? Everyone had plans to sell in Q4, you know, this magical Q4 pump. So people are just like taking chips off the table, and now we're left with a terrible environment where you know we don't know if Sailor's going to sell, we don't know what's going to happen to Tom Lee, and then there's all this panic. But I think I'd rather be a buyer here than like a seller. You know, not that
What do
I'm
you think
like
happens to Sailor?
aggressively buying.
Everyone's
I
freaking
don't think
about
anything
strategy
happens to
right now.
Sailor. Yeah, I mean today he raised like 1.4 bill to raise cash
Cash.
to secure some runway. I think that was a good move. I'm surprised he was able to sell that much. Um, I think that today's MSTR news reduces the odds that he sells Bitcoin to fund interest payments, but he could sell Bitcoin to cover the MNAV spread. I think also like Sailor's basically done buying Bitcoin
Yeah.
for the foreseeable future. He might buy like 10 million a week or like a month, whatever, right? But that's nothing to get excited about. So now the question is, how much of Bitcoin going to 120 was due to Sailor buying and the expectation that Sailor was going to buy? And I don't have the answer to that. It could be lower, it could be where we are at now. But I feel like eventually we'll revisit Sailor's average of like 74K and then
It's
it'll
like
trade
April
below. And then,
lows.
yeah, then people would be like, oh my God, like he's going to get liquidated. And like that could be a potential low. Maybe if MSTR sells some Bitcoin, I think that's unlikely, but it's possible next year that could mark a low. I think generally you can just expect like Michael Saylor FUD to mark a bottom in the future, I think.
I
Which
like
is, which is
that.
why I also was bought today. Which is why I also bought some today.
Which I
Some
want to
coin.
ask you about in a second. It felt like the 75 number April lows is like a reasonable place that we get to, and you could kind of like okay, real gut punch there, retrace the whole move. You mentioned that the vibes have been bad for 3 to 6 months, which the vibes have kind of been bad the whole year 2025, which is like
Yeah, it's terrible. Well,
that.
post inauguration, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
post
been
Trump.
terrible.
Like coins are going up, Bitcoin, so ETH is going up, but alts are obliterated. And the real separation there is that the money buying these coins, it's like we said, the DATs, it's the ETF, it's the institutions are buying these coins. CT's not, and CT's just getting all of 25. It's getting just destroyed on alts and on chain stuff. Do you think like how accurate of an indicator to buy or sell, go long or short? Do you think vibes are? CT vibes like is that like a because I kind of I don't know like I use other stuff. I'm a vibe trader though. Like honestly, I trade vibes and I lean long all the
Yeah.
time. I'm a vibe trader that's basically long always.
Yeah, I mean, no one should be trading off of vibes alone, but I think it's also this element of like gut feel, you know, like we've been in markets for many years. You know, when we see a spot and, you know, our gut saying to buy, then there's probably something there. So I think if this is like your second cycle or third cycle, then I think, you know, vibes based trading, if you know, incorporate other fundamental elements, I think is fine. But no, when I say vibes are bad, I just felt like people wanted to sell, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But people were wanting to sell into this Q4 pump. So no, now I think people have done that. You know, that's why prices gone down in a straight line. But now I'm not so sure. You know,
Well, everybody was also doing this final pump thing, which I hate. One
it
last
is
pump,
guaranteed Q4 pump. Yeah, it has to happen.
guaranteed
You know,
last pump, and then you sell. And like it's like the running joke, right? If everyone says like Billy to a Billy, it goes to like 500 mil, you sell. So like say Solana to 2K, so we could sell it like $800. It's like there's no one
yeah.
last guarantee pump. Everyone's in on it. We're all gonna sell it. Um, you said you bought some coins today or recently. What'd you
Yeah,
do?
yeah, I did. So okay, so I was gonna think about this, right? Because I'm still really bearish, generally. Um, but like threadguy literally asked me to come on stream to be bearish. Like, what's going on here? Like 12 months ago, I was like talking about Farcoin, and now threadguy is like, oh, like Taiki's a bear, like I gotta have him on. It's kind of like when like a coin pumps, and then you have like the dev on. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
coin pumped. Why did it pump? Here's the dev. That's like a top, right? Because that's like peak attention. So it's like, wait, like if that guy's having me on stream, like peak attention on the bear side, I need to buy something. So I just bought some Soul, but I don't intend on holding this for that long. I'm just like, okay, like let's play your bounce. Like
That's
fuck it,
awesome.
for the culture, for the culture. But yeah, I don't. I think Soul goes lower too, but I'll
That's
just
so
buy
awesome. What'd
low.
you buy?
Soul
Just
on
Soul?
perps. Yeah, no good reason. But also I was like shit
Sure.
talking Kalsamani on Twitter, because I was like, yo, like what are you doing with your DAT? And then he was like, oh, tune in for my investor call on December 2nd, which is tomorrow. I'm like, all right, like let's see what he can pull out of his ass. So I'm like, all right, let's see it, Kalsamani. But
It went to
like,
123, dude. It's bad. Soul's bad.
what is it now? It's
126.
126.
What's your entry? You're
Yeah,
up. Certainly.
like $2 lower. Yeah,
Okay.
but like this is not me calling bottom. I'm just like,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right,
yeah.
like, yeah. Just it's also vibe based.
That's total. I love it. I mean, dude, it's scary to buy right here. It really is. Like, okay, what's your
You gotta buy
general?
when it's scary.
I don't
You
know.
gotta sell when no one wants to sell.
That's when you buy, right? Is when it's fucking terrifying. You said you buy, it just
Yeah,
keeps going
but
lower. Go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, no. But like I said, sorry to interrupt you, but yeah,
No.
I'm not. I think we go lower, but I think we're due for some relief.
Yeah. So, what's your framework on that? On we go lower. Like, how do you think about us going lower? What do you think causes it? How much lower? Like, you kind of talked on what you think would be a local bottom for BTC on the Sailor stuff, but what's your like general framework for we go lower?
Um, Honestly, the answer is no one knows, and I don't really know. I think one thing I was thinking about is, like I said earlier, like Tom Lee, Bitmine was announced when ETH was 2,500. Um, so I feel like we should probably get back to those levels now that he's created exit liquidity for people. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think the 200-week moving average for Bitcoin is like 60K or so. That feels inevitable to me. Not that we have to go down there immediately. Um, I don't know. I'm just like trying to think through like what's the risk reward for buying coins versus selling coins now. And as bearish as I am, I feel like you know I mean, like 2 months ago, I said I'll buy Bitcoin sub 100K, right? And I still haven't bought yet. So like it's like when coins start pumping, everyone moves their targets higher. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, to the moon, right? And then once we go lower, it's like, oh, like we're going to 60K. So yeah, I mean, I'm giving you non-answers honestly. So I
No, but it's
apologize,
like
but
helpful. But there isn't. It's like it's helpful to just talk. Like even for myself, I want to talk through it because there isn't like an obvious answer to it. I have this tweet, to like your nobody really knows. It's a Jez tweet, and it's honestly one of my favorites here. I'm gonna pull it up on my
I,
laptop, and I want to get your take on it. Like, you were here for 2018, 19.
no, I joined 2020.
You joined 2020. Like you joined for DeFi
Yes.
Summer.
Yeah. I mean, I was buying, or I was buying Bitcoin to like deposit to like poker sites because that's the only way. And then all my poker friends started like talking about DeFi, so I kind of just got pulled in. So yeah, around DeFi
Oh,
summer.
that's a movie. So he basically has this. He wrote this like notes little like write up on 2018 and
Oh yeah,
2022 bear markets, and he
the
basically
belief
saying,
based.
yeah, he's basically saying 2018 was a belief based capitulation where nothing exciting was happening, and basically it was all these like existential questions of what if everything was just a scam. 2022, and I believe this, even though I came 21 really, so I didn't really know better, but 2022 was a price based capitulation where as a result of Luna and FTX blowing up, taking down the rest of the market, people didn't stop believing in Bitcoin. They just lost all their money in FTX. Like that, I agree with. I even felt like for the way more senior people than me in the bear of last cycle, like nobody gave up on crypto. If anything, they were more bullish. They were just really bored. Like there like wasn't anything happening. It feels like what's happening right now is kind of a belief based, and I'm not the most technical with how macro and markets work, but the reason people it's easy to get kind of demoralized right now because you look at gold, right? It's like 42.50 right now. Silver's $80, just like ripping.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, the narrative of Bitcoin is like digital precious metals is like kind of out of the cards, at least locally. And then you look at equities and Nvidia basically all time high, S&P all time high, and you're like, okay, we're not really the like leverage tech stock trade on Bitcoin, and we're just like somewhere floating in the middle of the ether, and it's kind of like unclear, kind of like no narrative right now. People are floating around quantum FUD, Sailor FUD, Zcash, privacy FUD, just like a lot of FUD somewhere in the middle. OG whales are selling. Do you, even if you weren't here 2018, like, do you carry this sentiment of feels like belief based capitulation, and a lot of the smart people in your circles are like losing faith? Are you losing faith?
I think the more like the better way to think about it is I think last cycle we realized that the tech sucks, but the coins pump hard. Now we're realizing that the tech is pretty good, but the coins are terrible. And I do think there's a belief. It's like the beliefs. Average belief in crypto has gone down across the board. I think for good reason. Yeah, like I don't think. I mean, the meme coin stuff is fun, but it's I didn't join crypto to like buy meme coins, and last cycle I was like, oh, DeFi is the future, ETH is money. And even if you ask like the diehard ETH maxi this time around, maybe not diehard, but like even if you ask like an ETH maxi this time around, they're like, yeah, like I want ETH to do well, so I hold it. But yeah, I don't really know if it's a good investment now. I feel like people have kind of gone to the point that maybe the tech is good, but the coins, most coins are bad. And the problem with crypto is that we don't really know how to value these things. Like, why is Bitcoin worth 85 or why is ETH worth 2.7? Like I can't tell you. People just draw lines on charts and be like, oh, this is support, that's resistance, whatever, right? So yeah, I mean, it's also bad because I think there was like this Hasib post around like exponential, like L1s or whatever, right? And then even you talked about how, Amazon topped and then it took like 60, like even like the most optimistic bull case is like, oh, it might take 5 years or 10 years for all-time highs, which might be, I think, people in crypto generally expect there's like a 100% chance that, we're going to see new highs in like under 12 months or something, right? I think people are underpricing the probability that we might not see new highs for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years. The probability is not zero, right? Maybe it's like sub 10%, but I think it's quite possible that assets like ETH just trade like oil and they just go sideways forever. While Bitcoin maybe is like doing well, hyped as well. I think there's a lot of uncertainty right now, and that makes it a really tough environment for anyone with size to allocate a lot of capital. So that's why it's gonna be super choppy from here on out. The market's gonna be super like on turbo hard mode. So I think it's best for people to like not capitulate, especially time-based capitulation. It's one thing for coins to go down, but I think people
This is
get
the worst
really
part.
down. Yeah, if like for the next 3 months we just like go sideways, like that's gonna be terrible, right? There's gonna be nothing to talk about. People are gonna start leaving. Also are gonna keep going down, with unlocks. So yeah, I mean, the good news is that we're like in month 2 or month 3 of a bear market. Maybe it's a 6-month bear market, 12-month bear market, 4-month bear market. I don't know. But at least we're already in the bear market, right? So there's reasons to try to be optimistic. That's the hardest part, being optimistic when things are looking so terrible.
I think there is some level of like sick optimism in the like we have great tech but terrible tokens.
Yeah.
It feels like like I know this is like I now understand why people like super OG and senior get cynical. Like guys like Kobe can be just come off like super cynical because it's like we've been doing this thing for 10, 15 fucking years and we're like have the same problems. But something about great tech, bad token feels fixable. Good token, bad tech does not feel fixable.
Is it fixable? I mean, we're kind of fixing it, right?
Yeah.
Like all the coins are going down 90%, so we're in this fixing process. right? Like we're fixing it right now, and now we have to wait for buyers to step in. But the reality is, like, we should probably go down another 90% before buyers step in if they want to step in. I think I think it's just like really hard to build a good business, and you need a good business for tokens, uh, and you need a valuation to be reasonable, which it's really not.
How did you play this cycle? Like, how well do you think you did?
I think I did okay. Um, I mean, I think the best thing I did was like the recent, like, selling and then shorting. But prior to that, like, I barely held any Bitcoin throughout the cycle, so I underperformed like fairly massively. Um, me round tripping, I completely round tripped Fartcoin. That was like terrible for like my mental as well. Um, I also made like I also bought a bunch of DeFi tokens that like I just like broke even on. So I think generally like not too great. I mean, I've outperformed Bitcoin, which is like all I can ask, but I think I could have done better, honestly. Um, I think without the ETH short and stuff, I think I was like an average player, in the market. So, lots of things I could improve on in the future.
The Farcoin round trip is tough.
Yeah, it's
The
like,
chart is
yeah,
tough though. That was a
we
tough.
noticed, we noticed.
Yeah, that was like a tough. I mean, I
Yeah,
fucking round trip some serious AI money. It was such a
yeah.
violent like meta, if you will.
Yeah, I think the AI stuff was the only time when people actually believed that AI 16Z was going to AI 16 billion, Zuri Bro was going to create this rap album that's going to hit top 10 on Spotify or whatever, there was like actual belief there. So this kind of touches on your previous question or like a few minutes ago, but people are definitely capable of believing, but the market has to provide something to believe in. And we don't have that right now. So now people are just like angry and pissed, that things are going down every day. So, I mean, at some point, there's going to be a new meta. Maybe it's next year, maybe it's next month. I don't know, but
There is this like, okay, it starts to feel spiritual bottom and price bottom is just like not the same, right? We can go way low, like market could stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent or whatever it is. Um, but there's this increase. First of all, one thing is like every single person on my feed, smart, dumb, and different, is like writing articles about why it's cooked. Every tweet to article. But the second is there's all of this like crypto is solved forever discourse happening. Like we solved meme coins.
solved as in,
Solved as in like
oh, okay,
the
okay.
gate, like everything's GTO, everything's solved. There'll never be
Right, right.
asymmetry again. And I like there'll never be every game we have is solved. And the thing about like new games is that there's no new game until there's a new game, and if it's a new game, like fundamentally it can't be solved. And I think there was no way, like I don't know, when we were in 2023 depths, I didn't really know what it was gonna be, but I definitely didn't think it was gonna be like meme coins that were gonna be the thing that was gonna
Yeah.
drive us into pandemonium again. And there's one side of this which is like that was it, full nihilism, meme coins, like there's nothing after that. But then there's the other side of it, which is like kind of to your thought, which is like the capital is here, people are willing to bid, whatever it is, like will come, and it just has to be something like a little bit different. But it feels like people are really over indexing for everything is solved forever.
I mean, that's like the same way that the stock market is solved, right? Markets are getting more efficient over time. So if you're just like scrolling Twitter and like trading, you're probably not gonna have any edge. Maybe you had edge 2, 3 years ago, but now you need to work harder. So it's just crypto is maturing as an asset class. Maybe that means coins go lower, and then you have to be super selective and like work really hard, right? But yeah, like markets are hard. It's really hard to make money. I think if anyone's making money right now, they should be really proud of themselves. If you're still here, you should be proud of yourself. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's supposed to get hard, the markets will constantly get hard. You just have to get better than than the rest of the market. That's the only way to win. So I think that's what everyone should be striving for.
It is supposed to be hard. Like no one said it was gonna be easy. I think it's like a sick take. Are are you trading anything else right now other than crypto? Like are you looking at other markets?
No, I've been trying to play poly market stuff, but I just have zero edge there, negative edge. Yeah, congrats.
Shout out to Polymarket.
For stocks, I only buy index funds in my retirement account. Um, I don't know, maybe I'll get back into like poker a little bit. I want to play like the WSOP next year, so
Whoa.
maybe like get better there. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's like mostly farming, you know. I think farming is probably like the main way retail can actually make money in crypto. So trying to farm good stuff, teach people how to farm good stuff,
So
not
why
lose
aren't
money.
you like max cynical and jaded? Like why are you even like on this stream? Still talking about crypto.
Uh, I mean, I was max cynical like when ETH was above 4K, you know. Like now we've dumped a lot. So like I think you have to look for buys. Um, the problem is things can always get worse. That's the problem. Like
Or
last cycle, what's up?
no, go ahead. I was gonna say or better, but it's not worth it to interrupting.
Yeah, I mean things can always get better or worse. Yeah, because like the real money is made in the bear market, right? Like the real money isn't made like sniping goat. I mean, maybe you could, but that's like a few people, handful of people, right? Like the best way to make money is having cash, buying Bitcoin low, and then just chilling for like a year, you know, while take some other trades here and there. So I'm I'm really bullish on my ability to buy lower and then just ride it for the next 24 months. Obviously, I'm going to be greedy and I'm going to try to buy the bottom. But the thing is, maybe I'm too bearish, right? That's also like the reason I don't want to be too bearish because once you like start shorting and making money, I think it's easy to view the world in like a negative light of like, okay, I need this thing to go down, that thing's going to zero, that thing's a scam. But like I said, I mean, things are just down so bad that there has to be some value here at somewhere. So I'm more interested in making money on the long side. Unfortunately, it might take 6 months, right, to find a bottom. But yeah, there's no reason to be pessimistic. You know, um, obviously there's reasons to be pessimistic certain assets and like never touch them again. Like maybe short those if you want, but you know, bulls make money at the end of the day, right? Bears make money sometimes, but it's usually the bulls that end up
Most
emerging.
retarded bull makes more money than the smartest bear. Um,
Yes.
what are you farming right now?
Farming like perp dexes, I think they're always good. Variational, some lighter. I'm farming Ink Chain, Kraken's layer 2,
Okay,
uh, USDAI, which I think you had David Choi on.
I love that
Okay,
guy.
I don't know. Yeah, he's kind of crazy. I like it, but yeah, the thing is, I think if you're most people should probably not be farming right now, like stables. I think the risk is probably like super high if you don't know how to do like proper due diligence. I think perps are gonna still be like the goaded farms over the next 12 months. I kind of view perp dexes as like the alto ones from like last cycle, where there's gonna be multiple like billion-dollar outcomes. So if on average, I mean, I'm grossly oversimplifying here, but let's say like there's like 5 perp dexes that launch at like an average of like a billion FDV, right? And they all airdrop like 15% of supply. That's like 150 mil of value per protocol. Like you should probably be trying to take advantage of that. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, obviously, right? You have to figure out ways to farm and stuff, and it's not going to be like not everyone's going to be like millionaires or anything. But I think right now one thing people should do is try to make decisions that your future self, right, will thank you for, right? I'm like, okay, like what does future Taiki want me to do right now? And that is don't buy the dip too early. Don't blow your load all at once, right? Retain, retain the cash, and also put yourself in a position to succeed in the form of like airdrops.
Are you farming lighter?
I was less so now, but yeah, I think lighter is gonna do really well. That's also like I'll probably buy the lighter GG. I think that's gonna be probably like a really good ape, especially in the market environment that we're in now, because I think it'll probably launch too low.
Which would be a change of pace for TGEs going down only.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, like good tokens can go up. You know, lighter will probably be a good token. I don't know the tokenomics though, so don't quote me. And the perfect environment is like if Bitcoin's nuking, if Ethereum is nuking, lighter drop happens, everyone sells to because they want to capitulate, and then you want to be on the other side, like buying that. I think.
What is the
Um,
correct environment to? be farming for more casual people?
Always. I mean, because the problem is all the coins launch at such high FDVs, right? Where you can't make money buying them in the public markets. So retail's way to counter that should just be to farm these things so you can like dump it at the high valuations. Um, so I just think people should just like, farm good things that you can believe in, right? It's like the people that made the most amount of money this cycle was like maybe the Bitcoin maxis and like people that farmed hyperliquid, right? And
Hyperliquid.
it's like held and believed.
How do you
Yeah, right.
counter these tokens just never launching? Like, how do you counter like Photon never does a TGE, Axiom never does a TGE, and you've been farming this thing, fucking leader in points, it never happens. Like, how do you counter that risk? Like time suck almost.
Um, I guess you never really know. I mean, usually teams will tell you that they're going to TG. I don't think Photon or Axiom ever
Photon
said
did. Photon
they're going
did.
to
Photon
TG.
did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's also like a savvy business idea, right? Or a business move. It's like okay, like tease the token, angle the
Never do
carrot,
it.
and then the degens will like pay fees. Uh, I mean, it's a risk you should be willing to take, but you know, there has to be some risk in order for there to be upside. So you just have to believe. I choose to believe. I choose to believe in good tokens over time,
By the
but
way, just to
it
like
takes time.
give you an update on your motion, all my like trenches chats right now are like FC Soul, Taiki's long soul, long soul.
Okay, maybe I should market dump.
It was like long soul, long soul. What? Okay, don't buy too early. I think is a really good take for the majority of cash if you have it. How did you play 20 like 3 bottom into back half of 23 really into 24?
Not well. I think 2022, I sold near the top, and then I just started buying way too early. And then there was like a period where like ETH went down like 11 straight weeks in a row, right? 11 straight red weekly candles. That was
My
terrible. Like
God,
that really traumatized me.
11 straight is
And
disgusting.
yeah, I think Bitcoin had like 9 or something. It was like things can always get like that bad, you know. But at 20, after 2020, like after the FTX bottom, I was still like an ETH and DeFi guy. So I was like buying all these DeFi tokens that
Okay.
never pumped. I got like a 2x on Maker, um, and I bought some ETH, um, farmed Hyperliquid and stuff, I guess. But honestly, like people call me a mid curve, and they're probably right. You know, I guess I'm trying to grow out of that, but
Why do you think you're mid curve?
yeah, I was. People just say that. First of all, it's kind of funny,
Do
right?
you think you are?
But I mean, I think it's always best. It's always good to believe in yourself, but not have too big of an ego.
Uh-huh.
Um, People call me a mid curve because I think I focus a lot on like fundamentals
Yeah.
and like why something should go up or down. While a lot of people in crypto, they'd rather like
They
just
just click
do
the button.
TA
Yeah.
or just be like, oh, FTV doesn't matter. But I'm like, oh, it does. Like valuations do matter, and sometimes it does matter, right? As we've seen in the past few months. So I just do like fundamental analysis on like an industry that maybe doesn't require fundamental analysis. Uh, but I think it's like a good way to like justify like buying or selling something.
It feels like at the top or like close to the top, it goes out the window. Like being rational fundamentals go out the window, but then at the bottom, they're like really important.
Yeah, people say like, oh, like the fundamentals like put a bottom in valuations, but it puts like a ceiling. Like one thing I'm thinking about is I think there's a reasonable chance that like if we do like lower, like, you can just buy Ethereum DeFi like Uniswap, Aave, just like hype and just like chill, you know. That's also like something I'm thinking about because you know I think you traded Uni, I also traded Uni. The price action has been terrible,
Awful. Like, fuck
but
that coin.
yeah, I don't know. There's probably something there. There's probably some problem in the asset itself. But actually, what was your question? Well, like fundamentals at the top doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Yeah, yeah. I think it matters at the bottom, right? Because like, how do bottoms form? There's like value buyers, right? Like people think it's good value, they buy. How do you know it's a good value? There's probably some fundamental element that puts in the bottom. Um, so yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter at tops. It does kind of matter, but I think it helps help you buy bottoms. Hopefully.
And then I also
We'll
feel like
see.
the inverse happens psychologically, where at the top, all anyone can talk about is like revenue numbers, and at the bottom, people are like, at least the way this last cycle played out, at the bottom, people are like nihilistic and just like want meme coins. The two things are like inversed.
You mean the opposite, right? Like people, the thing is like once prices start going down, it's like, oh, at least Pump Fund is buying 1 million a day, so people kind of latch on
But
to
then
the
if it like
revenue
goes on
numbers.
hard enough, people are like, everything's a scam. Like, just give me fucking Pepe, At least that's how 2023 kind of played, right? Like, it was like bonk and shit like this that really, at least for what I was paying attention to, kickstarted on chain craziness. Bonk into
Yeah.
Pepe into like Whiff into Pump Fund launch.
Yeah, I missed all the meme coin stuff, honestly. I just didn't really get it. It's in my mid curve, but I don't know. Maybe you're talking to different people in the market. But I think generally people people buy obscene prices for like coins near the top, right? It's like Plasma went to like
Yeah.
18 bill or something. Like
Oh
I was
my
like, bro,
god.
what the fuck? What even is that?
You know what was
Like
kind of the
yeah,
kiss of death to I think a lot of people's capital was it was like perp dex propaganda into Aster going crazy, and then everyone's on perps, and then Plasma launches and gives you like a 2x, and everyone's like, this is the freest 2x ever, and then it just like goes down only every single day with the rest of the market, and it gave everyone
and
like
October
a
10th happened.
then October 10th happened. Yeah. And it gave everyone like scam confidence that perps are amazing and they're perp traders. And then it was just like blew everybody up. Like, I feel like at least in my brain, I under index significantly for how catastrophic the 10-10 thing was. Because I wasn't trading perps.
I think so. Well, even if you don't trade perps, I mean, generally tops are formed by like some random like big liquidation day, because like that destroys a lot of capital, and there might be like dead bodies emerging, right, over time. Uh, yeah, because crypto bottoms and tops tend to be like very violent, and yeah, like the narrative, because the thing with alts is that people kept calling for alt season in Q4, but the marginal buyer of alts like retail. And retail got rinsed on October 10th.
Got cooked.
So like we literally, yeah, we like burned all the marginal buyers. So like it made no sense why people were like bullish at that moment. Um, and then yeah, it's more so just like it's more like seeing the writing on the wall that the market's probably topped, and then you kind of have to act on it, right? Because the market's not going to give you because think about like most recent dump, people have been calling for like this dead cat bounce, like up 50%. The market will give you like this perfect right shoulder to sell into before going down 80%. Like, do you think the Mr. Market is that kind to you? Like no, like we're gonna go straight down. So
The funniest
yeah, I think
thing crypto people spew is like, after 10-10, everyone's like, Max Payne is like 200K Bitcoin right now. It's like, no.
Max Payne's up. Max Payne's always down. Max Payne is always down. It is always down. Never let people fool you.
Yeah, Max Payne is definitely not like the god bounce at all.
Like a 2x candle, 100% candle. Oh, I'm in so much pain. Oh.
So what's your plan now? Like, you've kind of touched on it, but like, what is your plan from a kind of trading, but more so like an information flow, day-to-day focus, staying locked in, content? Like, what's your plan from here? What are you gonna do if we chop for 3-6 months?
I don't know actually. I'll take it day by day. I mean, my plan has been, or like last week I told myself, okay, like I'll either short ETH higher. Like I was thinking like 3,200, I would just short again. And ETH peaked at like 31 and then just like went straight down. So that was unfortunate. I didn't catch that. Yeah, so like my mental, like it's very simple. Short ETH higher if the market gives it to me, or buy good coins lower. Um, right now there's not much to do. So until then, like I just wait and farm, and then on the content front, I think you'll experience this too, but I think if we do go sideways for like 2 months, like our viewership is gonna go down a shit ton. Like last cycle in the bear market, like I lost subscribers every single day. Like every time I upload a video, I lose 100 subscribers. You'll probably experience that too. So I think it's you shouldn't be too discouraged, right? It's not your fault. It's just that the market's so terrible, and most people in crypto, they just leave after some period. So yeah, I'll take it day by day. And the thing is, like Hyperliquid launched, I think March 2023,
Yeah, sounds right.
which was like 4 months after the bottom, right? So like in a way, there's less competition in a bear market because everyone just leaves. So there are going to be pockets of like insane opportunities in the future. You just can't force it, Like I did like no one forced Hyperliquid to launch at that point, right? And like no one forced Goat to launch like 14 months ago. So just be grateful that markets might go lower. I can buy lower prices, more coins per dollar. Just wait and not get too bear hold. I think that's the hardest part.
You're kind of the GOAT. Like, I feel bad. Like, I was hating on you crazy for the bearish sentiment. And then you come out and you just like whip up the God trade, bro. I was hating crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, like for the audience, like I grabbed dinner with this guy, and he was like, "Yeah, like I fucking hate you, man." Well, I mean, he didn't say that, but that's kind of like the
I
vibe I
was
got.
thinking it low key. I'm like, he's so
Yeah,
bearish. Fuck. I was
yeah,
hating
fuck this guy.
crazy. I'm like, Taiki, what are you
Yeah,
excited about in crypto? You're like, nothing. We're going lower. I'm like, bro, what? Like, stop. You're like, nothing's exciting. And then it just like plays out. Like, it was one of the more goated trades in a while because you were getting hated on crazy when you tweeted your basket of alts you were short. Everyone's like, was clown. You kind of getting clowned.
I mean, people clown me all the time, right? So, I mean, I'm used to it. It's better if people clown me because if I get it wrong, then it's like I'm a clown, right? But if I'm right, it's like holy shit. Maybe he's not 80 IQ, maybe he's like 105 IQ. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, it
above
was pretty
average IQ,
goated.
baby.
Bottom is when I start playing poker again, by the way. I had an arc in July 2024, I think, which is like
I remember that.
the
Yeah.
extended end of celebrity meme coins. There was nothing happening, and then it was like poker stream, and like the next day, Goat launches in October. If you see me on poker now, bro, posted like what should I have done on the river, like you should probably buy some
No,
coins.
I think bottom is when that guy takes like a mental health break from like burning out from streaming every week.
No, don't say
Don't burn
that.
out, please. Don't
No,
burn out, please.
no, don't say that. Um, by the way, I glaze you for this all the time, but you have the best singular crypto interview of all time, Taiki Jez.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's great.
You should run
Um,
that back.
I asked him, but I don't think I think he wants to just take it chill,
When he
which I
like
respect.
when he buys the bottom, um, you should bring it. I think it's a singular best interview of all time. So I commend you on that.
Yeah.
And that's also the reason I lost $1 million on Goat because why would you ever put money behind your second best idea? So thank you
Yeah,
for that.
same with me for Fartcoin, man.
Yeah.
I was like, it's going to 10 bill. It's going to
Yeah,
$10.
yeah.
The best coin ever.
Chat says what
And
interview? I'll
then
send it in the chat. But okay. As like a sign off, there's like a lot of new people that watch my content that were not here. That got here in 2024. So a lot of meme coins that were not here for 22, 23. You were. These people also are relatively new, but like deeply believe in crypto, which is pretty fucking fire. And I mean, like I've been telling people in the chat, it's like, all right, if you're still here right now, I know it happened pretty quick, but the RR and leaving is pretty bad. So
I think so,
you
yeah.
probably shouldn't. You should have already left, even though it happened quick. Can you give us like a motivational like advice sign off on what do you do if you were here 2024, you saw mayhem, you missed the trades, you haven't made it, and you don't want to be stuck in the permanent underclass, so you're still here through bloody price action. Like, what do you do? How do you stay locked in? How do you make it?
Uh, no, first of all, I think the idea that you need to make it in like the next few years is really bad. It kind of forces people to like take on excessive risk. Whereas if you think about all the rich people in the world, it took them decades. Maybe they built a good business, or maybe they traded profitably for like 30 years. So just take the long-term view, I think. Markets will always be here. Threadguy and Taiki will always be here, hopefully. Um, like what is it? I guess I would probably expect the next few months to be really slow and boring and terrible, but I think that's not when you want to leave. I said this last cycle too, but people end up leaving. You can't really control people like staying. Um, I don't know. I feel like you just have to not take on too much risk, follow the right people, follow bullish and bearish people. If you only follow bullish people, then you're always going to round trip because you'll never hear the bearish side. Um, Ask yourself who's the marginal buyer, who's the marginal seller. Um, Valuations do matter. Stables is a good position. Airdrop farm all the time. And watch threadguy.
Dude, you're the GOAT, man. Thanks for coming on, dude. I felt like we had to do it now. Like the timing just like made sense. We had to do it now, and I know you're a busy guy, and you're lost in all these profits and shit. You're off now, but
I really am not.
I thanks for doing it, bro. Honestly, I'm hyped that you came on.
Yeah. Also, like, what is that sign behind you? The threadguy
You like
exit
that?
only? Like, what are you trying to exit from, man?
No, it's exit bearishness, bro. Exit being a gay
exit
bear.
bearishness.
Exit
Okay.
being a gay bear.
Okay.
Enter being a euphoric buying bottom Chad. Good coins
Yeah,
only.
gotta be a
good business. Good
hetero
coin bull.
Yeah, hetero bull mode.
Also,
not that I'm a hetero bull right now, but
also when you joined
yeah.
the street, someone said soul mooting. It's at 126.82. They're up like 60 cents.
Oh man, time to sell.
When you joined, everyone was
Okay,
like,
yeah, okay.
go.
Honestly, yeah, I mean, I'm not bullish Solana, honestly. Like, I just like I really am not bullish, so I think it goes lower. Um, so usually no, like when I long stuff, it's usually a top signal. So
should I short
wonder
your
what that means.
long?
I think
Did
that
you go
makes
like
sense.
barbell strategy?
Barbell what?
Like I don't know, like long and short at the same time.
No. I usually only just do naked stuff, like
Okay.
only long, or I should get into pair trading,
No.
but it's kind of tough, you know. Um,
Hey, they're calling you the new
yeah.
Degen Ping in the chat, by the way.
Oh no.
You got the
Actually,
like.
I don't want to be Degen Ping. I really don't want to be like any form of main character energy, you know.
You are the main character right now, low key.
I really am not. Like, how am I the main character?
What do you mean? You're the only guy. You're like the only guy that's publicly made a lot of money.
I guess. I don't know. I think crypto people should not like put people on a pedestal because I don't know.
I strongly agree with this take.
Historically, I'm wrong. Yeah. Like I'm gonna be wrong at some point. Like, and then if people just like bet their net worth on like this random Japanese guy, what he's saying, like, come on, man. Like, I just want people to like hear what I'm saying, right? Because I am like an ETH hater, like from like an asset perspective. Like I just want people to like actually hear what I'm talking about how ETH is like probably not great investment, and then have that like have my reasoning like I don't know like have that incorporate into like your investing, right? Because I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong. But I think if you really fully understand why I'm bearish ETH, I think it helps you navigate markets a lot better. I actually believe this, and I was not bearish because I wanted things to go to zero. I was bearish because I wanted people to like sell. I wanted to help people sell, and one way to do that was just be like this bear, right? It's like, oh, I'm shorting ETH, whatever. I've gotten DMs of people saying, oh, like I sold ETH, thank you. So I do think that people should learn how to sell. Actually, that's the number one advice to make it, because I think you and I, like historically, like we're both terrible at selling, right? Like we just believe it pumps, and then we just think it goes higher. But selling is really hard. Like you need to like learn how to sell. Otherwise, you're never gonna make it. I think. Like you have to learn how to sell. You have to enjoy selling. And when I say sell, like I don't mean shorting, right? But like literally just taking your random altcoins, like selling it. Just like
Was that eight?
decentralized governance.
Who has a really good clip on your stream talking about this? Oh, it was
Oh yeah, crypto. Messy, yeah. Crypto is a butthole. Exit only. You don't.
Crypto's a butthole. Exit only.
Exit only. Yeah, like you don't put cash back in. You don't put it back in the butthole, right? Things only come out of the butthole. So.
Well.
Well, if you're a thread guy, it might be different. But at least for me personally, I don't. It doesn't go back in.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, like this is thread guy's favorite toy.
Dude. In GTA.
GTA.
Why do you like have on your desk?
I just have it here. I
just like holding it during the stream.
Here. No. It's just here. There's a green one over there.
You're just like.
There's a red one there.
Bro's like streaming. He's like, "Oh, thread guy, like, it's a butthole." On that note,
do we really end it this way? How about you? Okay, how about you? Give us some motivation. Give your viewers some sauce.
You're gonna get used to me doing a lot of motivation over the next however long we chop here for, but I mean, dude, I feel the same way that I felt at the bottom of 22, 23, whatever. Is like, you either believe in it or you don't. If you do believe in it, piggybacking off of your take, you're going to get an opportunity to buy some really good coins really cheap. If you don't believe in it, then you're getting a head start on being able to leave and pivot and go somewhere else. And the reality situation is, it's just like, all roads lead to Rome. All roads just like lead to crypto, lead to programmable money, lead to crypto. And I'm in the camp, and I think every other 180 or however many people are watching the stream right now are in the camp of it is going to win, and you're going to get the opportunity to buy really good coins really cheap. And so the only thing standing in the way of you buying, the equivalent of 15K Bitcoin, again, that you could do in August 2023 or whatever, is how long can you sit through some chop? And it's easier said than done. And honestly, you could argue that, like, doing content every single day in the bear market or in chop leads to like crazy burnout, or you can argue it gives you something to fucking do every day and to stay locked in and to not capitulate and to be in the spot, right place, right time, with cash this time. I didn't have cash last time, with cash this time, and a job to buy the 15K Bitcoin when it comes. So that's what we're going to do on this stream, Mr. Taiki.
Yes.
Promise me this.
There you go.
When you start deploying, like actually deploying, like really putting like cash, like 6-figure cash back into stuff, you got to come back on stream and tell us when.
I mean, I'll make videos when that happens. I try to be as transparent as possible. Obviously, I think you need skin in the game to make good content. It's like my personal philosophy. So, yeah, when I start buying, you'll know about it. And yeah, happy to. Hopefully, that's not when 30 guys having a mental health break.
It's never happened. It's never happening. Taiki, you're the GOAT, bro. When you come back to LA, if I still live here, hit me up. Come out to dinner with me. But this was honestly really fun, dude. I appreciate you coming on.
Right, thanks, man.
Go tweet some bullshit for us. Yeah, good luck.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.